Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I have Beck with me. She is an amazing dating and relationship coach. She's been in the program for quite some time now. So Beck, thank you so much for coming on today. And
Thank you
yeah,
for
if you
having
want
me.
to just introduce yourself and tell us about who you are, what you do, where you're from, all of that.
Yeah, I'm Beck. Hi, everyone. I'm a dating and relationship coach, like Emily said. My business is the Relationship Circle, and the majority of the work that I do is supporting single women to find love and figure out what is getting in the way of them doing so. And I'm in
Lovely.
Australia.
If you can't already tell.
Yeah, if you can't tell.
So tell us about this journey of starting this coaching business. How did it start when you got into it initially, and then how you and I started working together, where you were at?
Yeah. So, where did this initially start? So, my background is in therapy. So, I started a long time ago doing therapy, a lot of trauma therapy, I suppose. And alongside doing that work, I studied coaching and then went into the big world of life coaching and got a bit lost in there doing a million different things. And then had some time off. And about, I think it's maybe 6 years ago, I decided that I really liked relationships and I started working with couples and relationships. And then that morphed into working with single women because that's where the need was. I had a lot of single women reach out to me.
Mm.
Um, and in that time, I have a 5-year-old. So in that time, I had a baby, launched a book, started lots of courses, blah, blah, blah. And so I had a lot of experience in coaching, but not in growing the business. It was very stagnant, maybe. I don't know. It was one-on-one coaching, a lot of time, a lot of effort. I feel like I knew what I was doing in the coaching world, but didn't know how to move from being like a coach to a business owner, if that makes sense. So that I feel like that's where I was when I met you, and you've helped me achieve what I didn't think was possible.
Amazing. So tell me about when you first had that inclination of wanting to like seek out a coach to help you with this. What was going on specifically?
So I felt like I remember saying to the universe, like, send me someone that can help me scale my business because I need to grow. I don't have the skill set to know what to do, and I don't want to have it, if that makes sense. I didn't want to do the research because I'd been led down a million different paths before of like, and people pop in your inbox all the time saying, try this method, do this thing, blah, blah, blah. I'll help you solve all these things. And so it just ends up feeling like noise. And so I needed to really trust my intuition around like who is the right person, what is the right direction, blah, blah, blah. So I was just stuck with growing. I didn't know what to do, really. I felt like I was lost. I knew I needed to grow. I knew things needed to shift. At that point, I think I was still working. My business model was still really couples and singles. And I was like, I don't know. I like both. I don't know what to do with both. It felt fragmented, but it also felt like I needed to work with both. I didn't know which. Yeah, I just felt lost in this big world of like, where do I go next? And I
Mhm.
need some support. So send me someone who can help me.
So you didn't want to have to take all of that time to research everything. I see that a lot with people where they are thinking, I'll just like put this off because I can probably find it on the internet or use ChatGPT. But then maybe they get more confused and they're like, I wish I just had one strategy to follow and
100%.
to see results from that.
Yeah, 100%.
So then what made you decide to work with us?
My gut, what made me Emily's persistence, and I actually at the time had two programs that I was like going into, and
Oh, wow.
I felt like the other one was more of a fit for me. And then I did both. And then I realized no, I dropped out of the other one and realized no, this is the one that fits more with me. And I think what made me join initially was I felt your like authenticity and real. It wasn't about like just get in my program and I'll help you, if that makes sense. It felt like you really cared. So I felt like this real sense of, and I've continued to feel that, like this real sense of like, I care for you and your business and I want to see you succeed. And it isn't just about you paying the money to me. So I feel like I got that gut feeling that it was the right move for me. And the system felt solid. in the past run many different, like you get into business and you don't realize how much work you need to do to set up like a funnel even, right? And there was always gaps in my funnel. There was never, I was always doing one-on-one coaching. So therefore there was not enough time to like, have you set up this part right? And so people would constantly fall through gaps in the system. And I didn't know what to do to fix it. And it felt overwhelming. So the fact that there was this structure and system that felt doable, and the support there, that was everything.
Mm. It was the support for you, genuinely having someone to like hold you accountable and care for you. You didn't feel like just another number in a program. That's so important. I know
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people who also have felt that way in programs that they've gone into. And yeah, I try my best to genuinely care. And so when you did join, tell us a little bit about that experience getting in. You joined when I had the coaching business for probably like 6 months. So at that
Mm-hmm.
point, I think I just had started the school course.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Well,
it
you
was
done a lot
definitely,
of work in that time.
yeah, lots of work. So tell me about what you've experienced. What's been the most impactful part for you?
The most impactful, well, that's a big question. Because I don't know that there's one thing. I felt like you were able to lay out for me. So I came in, there's a lot to do, right? There was still a lot of work to do with you in terms of like what I needed to do to get from point A to point where I am now, and even beyond where I am now. There's still
Yeah,
so much growth I have to do.
yeah.
But I wasn't overwhelmed by the system, because when I met with you, it was like, here's the next step. And that's like how I work with my clients. So I've kind of resonated with that. Like, you don't need to, like, yes, know the end goal, but don't get lost in the detail around what you need to do. All you need to do this week is do this one thing. And then all you need to do this week is do this one thing. So it felt really, and they all led in really well to each other. So it felt really systematized and organized. And that's wild that you'd only had it for 6 months, because you came up with a system that I describe to people now as like fail proof. Like, I don't think that, I honestly believe that if anybody came to this program, if they're willing to do the work, that they would not fail, because the system is so strong. And I don't see it not working for anyone. Like, I knew nothing about this side of business, and it's worked very well. Yeah.
Amazing. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what success have you experienced so far?
Yeah, so before this, the way I got clients was definitely word of mouth, and kind of luck, I reckon. People maybe had watched me for a long time. I've always been consistent in the message and what I do and in my branding and my marketing. So, although that's changed over time to be specifically single women,
Mhm.
so that people would just find me randomly, or they'd find my website, which was very random because it was terrible at the time, but somehow they would Google me and find me. So there was no consistency with clients. It was like, oh, got a new client, great. Like, I don't know how you found me or wanted to work with me or blah blah blah. And that's very hard to plan for the future, because
Yeah,
there's
that's
no,
really hard.
yeah. And so that's changed. That's definitely changed. I feel like I've got a steady flow of people coming in. I know how they're going to come in. I know the people that come to work with me are all experiencing the same kind of thing. So it's very easy to work with them in my system and in my program, because the way that the cohesive group forms in my program is really good, because they're all really aligned. So like, that's changed. I've got clients that are aligned with me, the work that I do. It feels like I'm constantly growing. So for me, that's a success. The fact that I'm constantly doing the work to improve things and make things better for my clients through this process is amazing.
Mhm. Wow. Okay, so you now have a predictable way to get clients to you. You know how to get them,
Yeah.
and you also feel more confident serving them as well. Your brand has grown throughout the process. How many followers, let's say, have you gotten in the past like week? Do you know?
Oh, really, I have no idea. Uh, Hundreds, but like, I want to preface this by saying that I'm really at the point where I'm about to scale, and I can't take any more followers because I can't do any more outreach. So I think I could get a hell of a lot more than
Yeah.
that. Um, yeah, that's from me being like, I don't want to get overwhelmed and have too many people without support in my team. So like I'm
Yeah.
right at the point of hiring into my team. So yeah, I probably hundreds, but I don't know how many. That's
So,
something I can get better at, everyone. It's recording what I do.
yeah, tracking is key. If you're watching
Yeah.
this, track your follows. But you're getting overwhelmed in the DMs, let's say, and you have a good amount of leads. We've also been, I believe, running one ad.
One ad. This is like, I can't even tell you all that working with Emily, we nailed the copy in the ad, and I've only
Yeah.
done one ad. I think I recorded it maybe 3 times. I feel like I don't know if I got lucky or if, like, I guess why I say the system is fail proof because we initially released 2 ads of the same script. One was filmed on my computer, one was filmed on my phone. They got exactly the same results. So we just moved it to one ad. Um, and it has been so successful. That and my video people watch when they meet me, it's the combination of the two,
Yeah.
which thankfully I didn't have to do millions of recordings because that would have been hard for me. But they worked really well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people still say to this day when I say to them, like, why, how did you follow me or what drew you to my page? They'll say, oh, like I really resonated with the message in the video. Like it's still, and that's probably, I want to say 6 months old.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah.
We knocked it out of the park first time. Love
Yeah.
it.
Massive. Yeah.
So incredible. You don't have to do it again. And okay, so what has been, let's say like what's been the biggest revenue that you've seen come in for the business
In like one person or in a month, in a week?
in a week, in a month, whatever you want to share?
I remember, like, this is not the biggest, but I remember one of my first sales into my program when I told her, I think she paid 4,500 up front. And she's like, yep, I'll pay in full. And everything went. And I was like, oh, wow, this works. Like, she's like, I just really like you and I resonate with you and I want to work with you. And I was like, wow, this is very cool. The last month I've had like 3 of those sales in a row. So that was probably over two-ish weeks that I had like 3, 4, or $5,000 sales.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. We were
Mm.
watching one of your sales calls and we were telling everyone literally study it because this is amazing marketing that Beck has been doing and it shows on the call because she just came and she was like like such an easy close because she loved you so much and was probably well nurtured throughout that process. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think the thing that I've got, the beautiful thing that I said about coming into your program, I felt like you cared means that I care. Like, and not that I ever didn't care, but there's a lot of sales teaching out there about how to get clients and how to acquire clients and and it doesn't feel like you actually care for the human. So I do. I genuinely care about everyone I talk to, whether they work with me or not. Like, I want to see the best for them. I want them to find love with themselves and with other people. And so I think that the leadership of what you do rubs off onto us, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Well, it's who you surround yourself with, you become as well. So I think it's so important as us coaches to become leaders worth following.
Mm.
Um, and so I'm sure your clients as well probably look up to you, and now they're caring for other people, how you care for them, which is just a beautiful cycle. So within those 2 weeks that you landed those clients, how much did you spend on ads so people have like an understanding?
Let me do the maths.
Get you guys the super exact amount here. We don't fool around.
I think the most I would have spent on ads, like over the period where I had the calls and people signed up, would have been $260.
Okay, that's actually pretty low for the ROAS that you got.
Yeah, it's very like that. I mean, if I that's over like 3 weeks, and those people came in over 2 weeks, but yeah,
Yeah.
and I actually didn't speak to them for very long, if that makes sense, before we got on a call.
Wow.
Um,
So the sales
yeah.
cycle is also shortened.
Yes, that's definitely changed. Yeah.
Amazing. We're
Yeah.
no longer like praying and hoping for clients to come in. They're coming in and they see you and want to work with you. That's awesome.
Yeah. And because you have this happened for me because I have this constant flow of clients, there isn't this, if someone doesn't work with me, it doesn't matter because Like, I mean, I'd love them to, and I'd love to change their life, but if they're not ready,
Yeah.
then another person will be there. There's not this need to like grasp onto like, oh, I've got one call, so
Mhm.
that kind of desperation. I don't have that.
That's a really good point. What is something else that you have seen, maybe with the clients who've come in through our program or through your own journey, where you feel like maybe they need to be reminded of a certain mindset shift or a certain place where you just want to give people just more security?
Yeah, I like the thing that I immediately thought of is like no one is coming to save you. Like if you want this to happen, you got to make it happen for yourself. In anything, anything takes work, and it doesn't have to be like hard work or tough or draining, or like you can learn and have fun in the process and it be enjoyable. I think if you attach, like I literally got off the call with a client this morning and she was like, I'm so burnt out from dating. And
Mm,
I said, we need to anchor more into the why of why you want this, envision that future around what you want it to look like, because then you will get through those times that appear really tough or hard
mm,
um,
yeah,
but you have to, like, that is the part of any growth is that you have to, like diamonds are forged under pressure, like you have to have this work ethic where you get through hard times and you keep going and don't give up at the first no, or don't give up at the
yeah,
first um, like, oh, that was really hard. Emily made me record my video 4 times, or I tried this ad and it failed, or like, name me anyone who's been successful that hasn't had knockbacks time after time after time after time. Like, you get back up, you restart, and you go again, like with everything that you want.
yeah. Oh, that's so true. And every time I've seen you on calls as well, I just want to say you've always been willing to show up. You've been willing to be coachable. And I'm so grateful to have you in our community because you are such an example for people to keep going, to show up, even though you've had setbacks and we've been there through
Yeah.
that. You have kept showing up and been consistent with that. And now you're at this point where you're getting like a 10x return on your ads. You're hiring team members, and now it's time to put in systems so you can scale, turn up the ads, and really see that
I'm
growth.
excited.
Yeah. Yeah, so where are we heading, Beck? What is the next, you know, couple of months look like for you?
Yeah, where are we? I mean, I want to dream very big in that I would like my group program to like at least times 10 of what is in there now, um, and really grow. And like, I think that once the systems are in place, which they are, and once I can get these people in place to support me growing,
Right.
then I believe that the growth is like, and I get better and better at sales and better and better about bringing people to my community, then like, yeah, I just want my calendar to be booked full of sales calls so I can practice that art, practice
Yes.
learning how to do that really well. And I'm someone who would actually just much rather be thrown in the deep end and then learn how to swim than prepare. Like, just chuck me in, throw me to the sharks, I'll learn to swim. And
That's that's gonna happen. Once we get the appointment setter in and we turn the
yeah,
ads on, you're going in the deep end. I can already see
good.
it
I'm
now.
ready. I'm
Right.
ready to be grilled.
Let's go. I love it. And there's also that willingness to scale, which is so important. Like some people are like afraid to, but you just have that willingness, which I love as well. And then one more thing, I have a couple more questions. So, what were your thoughts around ads? Like, did you have any beliefs around them? And what are
Yeah,
they
for
now?
sure. I've run ads in the past. I think at the point that maybe I met you, a couple of years ago, I ran a very successful ad on Facebook. I had no idea what I was doing, by the way. I don't know what I did to make it work, but it was like the return was very low and it was very successful. And I then tried this exact same ad 2 years later, and it plummeted and it was terrible. And I was like, oh, I clearly don't know what I'm doing. So I hated ads because I was like, this is confusing. This is a world where I don't want to. I knew that I didn't want to do the legwork on my own to learn about ads because it's constantly changing that world. So I wanted a mentor that knew about that world because I don't want to have to constantly reskill myself in learning about ads. I want someone else who's done that work and can teach me this is the new way you do it and just do it. Because I've just found it overwhelming and confusing, and honestly didn't know if it was just a money pit that wasn't going to work. I don't know that I had a lot of faith that it was going to work.
Okay. What are your thoughts on ads now?
I love them.
Tell me more.
I think that like now the clients that are coming in are like they're ready to work with me and are all
Mm,
got the same pain points, which makes the work that I do and when I run group coaching and the message I put out there on my social media, it makes that all a lot easier because I know exactly who I'm talking to because I know the exact struggles they're going through. And um, so just
mm,
targeting the audience to follow me, like it makes so much sense to me now. Like I don't want just anyone to follow me. I actually don't want to go viral and have 30,000, that's not even a lot, millions of people follow me that aren't aligned. I want people who are aligned with my message and the work that I do to follow me. So if it grows slower and I have, not that this is slow, but if it grows slower than going viral from one video, I'm actually fine with that because I want the aligned people to follow me.
mm. That's also a
Yeah.
key shift, going from I need to post content that goes viral. Why is my engagement so low? I need to focus on how to get the most attention to let me just speak directly to the ideal client I want to attract, have an ad running that speaks straight to their pain points, straight to the heart of their pain, and let me help and serve those people. And maybe you'll get people who are outside of that as well, but it's just, I feel like, less stress because you're not worried about engagement or virality.
Very true.
Thank you so much for sharing all this. So, if someone is watching this right now, Beck, and they're thinking to themselves, like, I am watching all of Emily's content, and I know that this program is my next step. I'm just afraid. What would you say to that person who's thinking of starting?
Just jump in. Like honestly, what do you have to lose? I think, and I've had many people contact me before they jump into this program on social media, and my message is always the same: like it's fail proof, and if you're willing to do the work, then you just need to make that decision because otherwise you waste so much time. And I've been here in the past planning, preparing, getting ready to get ready to like choose the right, like just do it, like because you're wasting time, and in that time you could have made more money, you could have served more people, you could have gotten further. Like
Yeah.
just get out of your own way and jump in and do it, make a decision.
Yeah. Every time that someone puts it off for like another 30 days, it's within those 30 days that they could have seen that growth. And a lot of times it's not like I need to find the perfect solution. I find it's people just don't trust themselves enough and they
Yeah,
get in their own way. And when they get in their own way, they block themselves from the breakthrough that they are meant to have.
yeah, 100% agreed.
So I'm proud of you, Beck, for taking that next step. And even though it might have been scary, still going for it and showing up. We appreciate you so much in the community. Is there anything else you want to say?
Just I'm grateful for you, grateful for Gerald, grateful for the community. Like this is the thing, you don't just get Emily or Gerald, like there is a whole community there. So like when you're struggling or feeling down, or like it isn't just about like, well, I'm winning and everything's great. Like I've hopped in there and be like, I'm having a really crappy week and I need support, and I don't know what to do. And this is failing and this is not working. And then you've got other people
Yeah.
to go, keep going, it's okay.
Yeah. We all have those weeks. We all have those weeks where we feel down, we feel doubtful, and then we just come back to like what you said, the why, getting
Yeah.
around a community of people who want to support you, who genuinely care for you, who are all going after that same mission and goal of impacting more people. So I love the way that your heart is centered on just impact and genuinely caring. You have a bright, bright future ahead. Beck, 2025 is your year, and I can't wait to be here supporting you throughout it.
Thank you. Me too.
Okay.